What is up, guys? Welcome back to a new story called What If Naruto Was Trained by Anko Chapter 2. Welcome to the Gaki's Kin. With this being said, the snake. Just joking. But with this being said, welcome to Chapter 2, and I hope you enjoyed Chapter 1, which is currently probably will be posted right after this one. So enjoy this video, like, share, and subscribe. This is Chapter 2, Naruto X Anko, or What If Naruto Was Trained by Anko Matarashi. Enjoy the video. If you like it, please ask for more by hitting that like button.
Snakes of Konohagakure upload. Chapter 2, Genso Ken. Naruto followed his sensei down a road as she seemed overly secretive about where they were going. Anko glanced over her shoulder to see Naruto following her just like she used to follow the snake bastard. It both warmed and worried her. She liked having a student who was 100% ready to follow her, but she didn't want a blind follower either. Naruto stops for a moment, Anko said. Naruto nodded and stopped following. Is something wrong, Anko-sensei? Naruto asked. What does sensei mean to you? Anko asked. A sensei is someone who should teach their students or underlings the best they can so they are ready for what is to come, but also must be willing to adapt to each underling, Naruto replied. Anko blinked for a moment, not expecting an answer like that. And should you follow your sensei's words? Anko asked. Of course. Unless your sensei is demanding you do something you're not comfortable doing, then you should tell them and refuse to commit the act, Naruto replied. Anko nodded, then started to move again. Just checking, let's move, Anko said. Hey, Naruto said and followed. Anko and Naruto stopped once they reached a training ground. Anko tapped her foot a few times before she pulled out a kunai and whipped it at a tree. Naruto blinked in surprise when he heard the tree yelp and a girl fell out of it. Naruto looked over at her, seeing she had brown hair kept in a pair of buns and was wearing a pink button-up shirt with green pants. Where's Guy? Anko asked. Guy-sensei should be back from his lap any second now, the girl said with a huff. Your stealth was fine, by the way. It's just not easy to sneak up on a snake, Anko said as a brown snake slithered out from her coat. Whoa, when did you summon him? The girl asked. Mitarashi-san. A voice echoed out as a green blur landed in the field. What brings you out here on such a youthful morning? Hey, Guy, I was hoping to ask for your assistance in finding a proper field for my genin's taijutsu, Anko said, pointing at Naruto. Ah, you've gotten your first genin, congratulations, Guy said loudly before looking at Naruto. Kam-san? Naruto asked suddenly, making Guy smile brightly. Ah, you remember me? Guy asked, giving his shining smile. How could I forget you? Naruto asked. Naruto remembered Kam. He was one of few Anbu that was good to him. Anko, his precious Hibi-chan, Kam, which he now knew to be Guy, and then there was Nico, the cat, and Wani, the crocodile, whom he still didn't know the true identity of. How indeed, Anko said with a chuckle. Now Naruto, hit me here as hard as you can so I can gauge your strength, Guy said, patting his stomach as two more figures appeared in the field. One looked like a miniature version of himself while the other had long brown hair and pale eyes. Right, Naruto said as he cocked his fist back. Wait. Guy, brace yourself more, Anko said, stopping Naruto. Guy nodded and better braced himself for the hit. Okay, go. Naruto nodded and ran over to Guy and sent his fist into Guy's stomach. To everyone's surprise, Guy still dropped to one knee. Guy-sensei, all three of the other kids spoke at once. Holy flames of youth, my boy. You hit harder than Lee, Guy said as he stood and grinned. So what do you think? Anko asked. Well, he needs more speed first, Guy said once he saw Anko already nodding. Once you get that up, he'd be a perfect candidate for one of the Gensoken. Known as the Elemental Fist style, each one is a unique style to an already created fighting style, Guy said. Oh, that sounds awesome, Naruto said with stars in his eyes. You'll have to get your speed up and find out what your elemental release is. Once you've done those, I can show you the basics of one of the 5. Haiken, Mizuken, Tsuchiken, Kaminari-ken or Kaze-ken, Guy explained. Is there anyone who uses those styles? Naruto asked. Yes. When fighting against someone who truly pushes me, I used Tsuchiken, my eternal rival who knows the basics of Kaminari-ken. The second Hokage was a master of Mizuken. And Madara Uchiha was the most powerful master of Haiken ever known, Guy explained. What about Kaze-ken? Naruto asked. The only practitioner of Kaze-ken right now is Asuma Sarutobi, Guy replied. Come on, Naruto. We need to get you set up so we can fix your speed, Anko said, getting Naruto to silence his questions. How are you planning on fixing his speed? Guy asked. A little mix of what you did to Lee and a little of my own, Anko said with a sly grin. Ah well, let your flames of youth guide you, Guy shouted before giving a thumbs up and smiling. Yeah, sure, Anko said as she beckoned Naruto to follow her. Naruto gave a light bow to Guy and then quickly followed after Anko. Where are we heading now, Anko-sensei? Naruto asked. To one of my favorite shops in all of Konoha, Anko replied with a big foxy grin that rivaled Naruto's. Naruto gulped, then smiled, figuring Anko wouldn't do anything to hurt him on purpose. Naruto marveled as he looked after sword, while Anko talked with the shop owner. Naruto stopped when his eyes found a sword. Hey, Mr. Shopkeeper. Why's this sword different? It's a broadsword, it's thicker and sharpened on both sides. So while being slower than a katana, it is stronger, the shopkeeper replied. Cool, Naruto said as he moved on. So do you have any? Anko asked. Yup, one set left, the shopkeeper replied, showing Anko a set of wrist guards and shin guards. Perfect, I'll take them, Anko said, grabbing the guards. Glancing over her shoulder, she could see Naruto testing the weight and speed of one of the shopkeeper's broadswords. These are really nice, Naruto said as he tested the blade with a few more swings. Also not why we are here. Now try these on, Anko said, handing Naruto the guards. Naruto put the sword back and put the guards on. Once he handed them on, he dropped to the ground as a set of red seals showed on the guards. What's going on? I can't lift my arms or legs, Naruto said as he tried to move. Give it a minute, the seals are still attuning themselves to your body, Anko said. Naruto looked at the glowing red seals, then nodded and waited for something to happen. Sure enough, after a full minute, the seals turned blue for a moment and then vanished. Hey, I can move. But just barely, Naruto said, lifting himself. Perfect, this will give you a leaner build and your speed can be fixed, Anko as she led Naruto out of the shop. With Team 7. Sakura was completely lost. She hadn't been able to keep up with her team at all. She could understand Kakashi-sensei, but Sasuke and Sai shouldn't be this much faster than her. She was starting to hate herself. All she did was physical exercise like Kakashi-sensei demanded, but she wasn't getting anywhere. She finally just gave in and stopped to catch her breath. She was soaked to the bone with sweat, but she never saw her fellow teammates waiting for her no matter how far she ran. She was starting to feel abandoned and she didn't like that. She stopped dead when everything dawned on her. Kakashi-sensei had been playing favorites with Sasuke just like Naruto had been complaining about. Haruno. What are you doing out here? A familiar voice caught her. She spun to see Naruto standing a few feet away from her just after the next turn in the road. And he looked as bad as she did. He looked like he had jumped in a lake with how sweaty he was. Naruto. Are you okay? Sakura asked, still slightly out of breath. She did feel a little hurt that she went from Sakura-chan to Haruno so quickly. I could as you the same, Naruto said as he walked towards her. Kakashi-sensei had us go out for a jog. But I couldn't keep up and now I can't find them, Sakura said, ashamed of herself. What, no Sasuke-sans? Naruto asked with a slight smirk. Oh, shut up, Sakura said weakly before she saw a figure behind Naruto. She couldn't believe how beautiful the woman was. Ah, you must be one of Naruto's old teammates. I was wondering why my little Gaki stopped running, Anko said, giving Naruto a wicked smile. Sorry sensei, Naruto said while rubbing the back of his head. It's fine, I'll let you catch your breath for a minute, Anko said as she jumped up and landed on the fence, her eyes scanning for something. So how's Team 7 been? Naruto asked. Confusing. I found something I really want to study but sensei hasn't helped me out with it, Sakura said. What do you mean he hasn't helped you out? Anko asked, dropping back down. Well, I went to the hospital yesterday to see my grandmother and I saw a Med 9 and I'm not sure what it was about him but I wanted to do it. I want to help people. To be able to patch them up. So I asked Kakashi-sensei if he could give me a few pointers or if he knew how I could get started in becoming a Med 9. And all he said was if once I get my strength up to par he would help me out. Then he went back to helping Sai and Sasuke, Sakura explained. You need to bring that up to Hokage, Naruto said. Whiskers is right. If Bakakashi isn't training you right you gotta tell someone, Anko said. I don't want to cause a problem. I'm not a clan shinobi or anything, Sakura said. She watched as Anko reached forward and flicked her on the forehead. What was that for? Sakura asked. Clan shinobi or not, you are a kunoichi of the hidden leaf and deserve all the same training as the pampered princess and whoever your other teammate is, Anko said with a lot of disdain in her voice. You really think so? Sakura asked. Would you think I'm weak and not as valuable as someone like Tsume Inuzuka? Anko asked. No, but you're a sensei, Sakura said. I was a genin once too. Give yourself 10 years you might be in my position, Anko said. Sakura looked at Anko then nodded. Thank you. Sakura paused. Anko Mitarashi, Anko said, knowing it was what Sakura was searching for. Thank you Mitarashi-sensei, Sakura said with a slight bow. Ma there you are Sakura, Kakashi said as he walked up. He stopped when he saw a hint of rage flash across Anko's eyes. Hey, what the hell Bakakashi? Your genin tells you she wants to learn medical ninjutsu and you tell her to get stronger first. Anko growled. Watch your tongue Anko. Lest you forget I am still a jonin and you are only a Tokubetsu jonin, Kakashi said with a hint of venom in his voice. I'd watch your tongue Hitake, Naruto said, his eyes flashing red for a moment. I won't have you insulting a real sensei. Know your place Uzumaki, Kakashi said with a growl. Back off. Anko now stood between Kakashi and Naruto, her eyes locked with Kakashi's. You don't get to talk to me or my genin like that Bakakashi. And I'll have you know. The moment I took Naruto on as my genin, Hokage-sama promoted me to full-fledged jonin. Anko added one hand on her kune pouch, while the other was hidden and, unbeknownst to the one-eyed jonin, holding one hell of a venomous snake. Come along Sakura. I believe the fox and snake were playing together, Kakashi said as he simply turned and walked away with a very worried Sakura following him. She didn't get what he meant by fox and snake. Prick, Naruto said before he simply turned and started up his run. Anko kept looking in his direction for a moment then turned to watch over her genin. 1 hour later. Naruto had finally finished his training for the day and dropped down to the ground panting heavily. "Can you move still?" Anko asked. "Barely. I'm not sure I'll be able to walk home," Naruto said weakly. "Good. Let's go," Anko said. "Anko-sensei, you're a slave driver," Naruto said as he pushed himself up. "Oh, you'll enjoy my little treat for you. This is something I'll give you on special occasions," Anko said as the two started to move again. Naruto couldn't believe what he was seeing. Anko stood before him clad only in a towel. Naruto couldn't take his eyes off her. Who could really? Anko smiled and stepped out of the room, getting Naruto to follow like a mindless hormonal teenager set on seeing boobs. "Ow, that feels good," Anko said as she sunk into the hot waters of the onsen. Naruto still blushed heavily as he sat next to her in the water. Anko rested her head back, feeling slightly good about herself. She had pushed Naruto to his limit, scared Kakashi away, and was currently threatening to give her genin a bloody nose that might just kill him. All in all, it was a good day. "This is one hell of a reward," Naruto said, trying not to look at Anko, at least be bitten within an inch of his life. "You earned it. And feel free to gawk. That's your reward. You get to check out my smoking hot body while we soak," Anko laughed lightly. "I don't know if I could look without passing out," Naruto said, his face still beet red. "You'll get used to it," Anko laughed some more. Naruto just chose to look up at the stars with his sensei rather than at her obscenely beautiful body. "Hey, Anko-sensei, could you teach me how to summon snakes?" Naruto asked. "You want to summon snakes?" Anko asked. "Yeah. Truth be told, I like frogs and toads a little more, but snakes are really cool too," Naruto replied. "I'll think about it," Anko said. "Come on, let's go get out of here," Anko said as she stood and stretched but forgot to hold her towel. Naruto looked over just as the towel fell off her forearm. Anko grabbed the towel but was a second too late, and Naruto got a full frontal view of her naked body. Before Anko could say a word, Naruto was out cold with a river of a bloody nose as he mumbled about seeing an angel. Anko just shook her head and picked up the unconscious boy. A 4-year-old Naruto stood looking up at a masked woman smiling brightly. Through her mask hid her face, she smiled as well. "So you wanna be Hokage?" Anko asked. "Yeah, I'm going to be Hokage, then I'll make Hibichan my wife," Naruto said, making Anko's face turn bright red under her mask. "I'm sorry, what?" Anko asked. "You heard me. Hibichan is going to be my wife," Naruto said as he hugged Anko. "And we'll have a big family, and we'll be super happy," Naruto added, still smiling happily. "I don't think you'd really want that. By the time you're Hokage, I'll be old and wrinkled," Anko said. "Then we'll just have to get married before I become Hokage," Naruto said defiantly. "You're really set on this, aren't you?" Anko asked. "I never break my promises," Naruto said. "Fine, when you get old enough you can try and marry me," Anko smiled. Naruto shot up from his bed, panting heavily. His mind was reeling. He remembered that promise now. What he had said to Anko before he knew she was Anko. Naruto dropped back onto his bed, smiling and shaking his head. "How did I forget something like that?" Naruto asked himself as he laughed lightly. His face then turned red as he tried to figure out how he was going to look at Anko without blushing anymore, with this now added on top of seeing her naked for a brief moment. Naruto dropped back and closed his eyes, trying to fall back asleep, not even noticing how easy it was for him to move compared to when he first put the weights on. 1 month later. For 1 month Naruto was put through a daily hell of training. Each day his weights would be increased a little and they would run longer and spar harder. Anko made sure she adjusted Naruto's meals. He was only allowed ramen once every other day. His diet had gotten a complete overhaul thanks to Anko's ever-watching eye on him. And all her work was paying off. Naruto was in the best shape of his life and he didn't even know it. He didn't realize how heavy his weights were or the fact that Anko would up her game the moment he came close to hitting her. She wasn't stupid. She wasn't about to take a hit unless she truly couldn't dodge it. And thanks to Guy, Naruto was now the second person in Konoha that was learning and using Kaze-ken. And what shocked Guy the most was how easy it came to Naruto. It was as if the style was made for him. With each passing session, Naruto became more fluid and evasive just like the wind itself. Guy praised Naruto continuously for his amazing skill with something most jonin don't even take the time to learn. Naruto had evolved himself over time. Gone was his orange jumpsuit, replaced by a pair of black pants with orange lines running down the sides, a sleeveless orange shirt that bore the kanji for wind on the back. His wrist guard weights were covered by bandages that were then covered by his very own trench coat. Unlike Anko's coat, Naruto's coat was midnight black trimmed in orange, and like his shirt had the kanji for wind on the back. Naruto now stood before Anko, who was grinning at him. "Well, it's time we take our first real mission," Anko said, making Naruto smile. One of the things Anko got Naruto doing during their training was using his shadow clones to complete D-ranked mission. "What's the mission?" Naruto asked. "We've got to head to the Tenchi Bridge and deliver a scroll to one of Konohagakure's spies," Anko said. "A message delivery to a spy? That seems a little odd," Naruto said. "Usually this would be either an A-ranked or S-ranked mission depending on the spy and the information. But Hokage-sama's sure that the spy won't be in danger or a danger," Anko explained. "Well, then I should go pack for a week's trip," Naruto said. Once Anko nodded, Naruto vanished in a swirl of leaves. Anko smiled at how fast he had picked up on the shunshin. She then did the same and vanished in a swirl of poison mist.
Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed chapter 2. Sorry for that large blank. My mind was just spattering on how this story goes off and what it's going to be like at the end of this. I would like to say that how many chapters we have left. There are completely over 34 chapters. So for now to the end of time, I'll be doing the rest of my fan fictions for 34. Like I said, the new chapters that I'm working on will not be done by then. So I'm just going to do these chapters instead, letting you hear or listen to what this chapter is all about. I'm about the story. Like I said, it's 34 chapters. There are going to be 34 more of these type of fan fictions. Like, I'm just gonna say that I'm very very tired of creating my own, just going off the top of my head. I know you guys used to like that, and I'm sorry, but that has to be taken away. I will try to grow more bigger and better, like editing wise. I will try to edit more. So with this being said, enjoy chapter 2 of What If Naruto Was Trained by Anko. Naruto X Anko, the second beginning. Hope you enjoyed the story. Love you guys. Goodbye.